Hey, hello guys, it's Mark from the RC Car 68 in France. I know it's a long time ago I haven't done an English video because I had not enough time. Two jobs, the house, the family, RC for sure in French. And first point for me is driving RC. So we have here a special guest. I was waiting a long time ago to get it. It's the HOBAO Hyper 10 TT 2.0. I also hope that soon will arrive the HOBAO Hyper 10 SC 2.0. I dream also from a 10 MT 2.0. Would be the not 2.0 because they haven't an 110 scale monster truck. I would like to see, based on the dragster version and two-wheel drive shortcuts, two-wheel drive truggy long wheelbase, and a two-wheel drive long wheelbase monster truck also. Why a long wheelbase? Because if you have two-wheel drive, it's easier to drive with a longer wheelbase and to go over stuff. For sure, with the 4x4, it's easier in a short version. But 10MT would also be good with the long wheelbase from the short cars. HOBAO, if you don't know it, it's a brand you still know since long, but never knowed it was HOBAO from Taiwan. First, HOBAO was introduced in America with Offner Racing. They also rebrand Hongnor and some other stuff, Team C. So they have done back in the time the 10TT, the SC, and other versions from the trucks. It was a long time I was waiting for, because I asked HOBAO since long time, and I'm not the only one, to make a new range from 110 scale trucks. The construction was old and not more at the point for the new generation of power. And beginning, these trucks comes as nitro, especially the Tennessee, and as brushed version only. So as soon brushless comes on the market, they switch to brushless, to a nice, sweet power system in brushless, not too much, not to exceed. The construction was also not made for take some heavy heats and stuff we do at present time. For 50-20 years, never was anyone as rude as we are now with our RC trucks. Many people would like to see some new optic from the truck. I'm happy they keep the old one. I like the look. It's like looking with this body. I like the old school offset rims. I like the old school super plush, nice and soft tires from this truggy. The bumper front and bumper rear, it's also something we messed on many cars. It's many ask why use a rear bumper? Because at some point the tires and rims are compressed and you heat here at the rear from the chassis. It also puts some stress out from the impact at the rear rim. So outstanding from the exterior aspect means the old school look. What he kept from the old 10TT are the three differentials and front and rear bulkheads. Shock towers are same design. The counter strong are same design, are also made exactly like they was back in the time. And the roll and the sway bars. That's it. All the rest from the truck is new or done another rise, a tougher rise. So we're gonna talk about it. First, let us look at the box. Here we have some interesting details. You have new shocks, because that was a weak point back in the time, not the shock himself, but the springs. And yeah, for sure, when you are going too hard with 3S, with a 60 can motor, you can bend sometimes some shock shaft, so they do complete new shocks with some, we see it here, where are they? Just a moment. Here, sorry. Some new protection on the caps from the shock, do not heat here. That's nice. I complain about too soft pin braces. So they do 6061 machined instead of 6061 non-treated stamped stuff was too soft. The problem back in the time is when you hit something with the inner arms, you bend here the brace, and once it bent, the pins comes out, and not just only the pin, you loses back in the time here the holder and the spacer. And this is also something they change, no more spacer. That's cool. Okay, you cannot anymore change, adapt the wheelbase because of that, but it's also not useful really to change just 1 or 2 millimeters. But it was boring back in the time when you was on the street, especially off-road, and I have all the stuff just flying around at the ground and have to put this little spacer and the stuff, and it was complicated. So way more easy that way. We have also 6061 machines motor mount. You have not a fast access, but it's super easy to access from the rear with a screwdriver. So we don't need a slide. Easy is as good as it is. The differential moved to the back from the truck because I also asked, and many other, to get another layout. Back in the time, it was for a brush version. That means you have the brush motor, the servo back here, and a brushed ESC was a really tiny stuff. So it was just fixed on the top plate, also the receiver. So we asked for receiver box and another layout, like maybe the Hyperstar, to have more room for the stuff, and that is exactly what they have done. We have the servo, the receiver box, ESC, and then the motor. We have still pivot ball suspension, like they have done at the awesome VSC2 buggy. It's my favorite buggy from all the market. For sure, competition buggy are awesome, but I drive for pleasure. I don't need to put 800-900 euros in a chassis, because that's what we pay here in Europe for buggy and truggy competition side. X-Ray, Serpent, all that stuff is 750 to 950 euros by Kyosho. Kyosho are really crazy. And if you go back and see that if you take a VSC2 roller, it's 350. You put your own electronic in there, you came to 550-600 euros, and you match the same time at track as the best buggies. So I'm okay with that. We have, because we also asked that, because after coming out from this car here with this top carbon chassis brace, many of us ask them to do the same at all the trucks. It means the 10 range and also the 8 range. I ask especially HOBAO to do a VSC2 truggy with this type of upper brace, longer arms, just a truggy in the new style of stuff, with bumper front and rear. And just wait, I hope it will come. So first, for sure, they're gonna do the 10SC 2.0, and then we're gonna see what happens. And where was I? The new battery box for shorty battery, so you can easily switch from front to rear the weight. And for tools like me who drive standard size battery, just have to screw this away, and you can put a standard battery in there. Back in the time, shock tower, braces, chassis, and the pin braces here was made from soft 6061 alloys with no treatment over there. Now all that is done with 6061 machine stuff. We have the new brace on the top. Back in time, we have the top plate from the steering made from plastic. Sometimes you break that by hard hitting here. So you had an optional part at that time, and here you don't need an optional part. It's already there. You still can have the carbon stuff. And back in the time, we had an optional possibility to have here some alloy wheel hubs. And this is back at the program. You can have it now again. And they add also the rear ones, which at that time was not possible to get. The center dog bone is also made from alloy in optional part if you want to have something lightweight. I'm okay with steel. I like this way. And they add also something they had on all new 1/8 scale, the VSE2, the VTE2. That means you can put some carbon plates in the suspension arms. That is not making the suspension arm tougher, but more rigid. More you have grip, as better it is if your suspension arm is more rigid, so the suspension works more. And if you are in a big off-road track, it's with really suspension making to move, loose ground, it's better to get less rigid stuff and more flexibles. So, enough talking about the box and the truck. We're gonna talk about radio system. I know you want to see the truck, but I wait, because if I show you what's in the truck, you don't gonna listen to me anymore. So listen to me. V2 radio system is the same as the old one, but another protocol. So if you have a V2, you need a V2 receiver. Okay. Take care also, the servo is an 80 kilogram servo in 6 volts, and it do not manage 7.4 volts. Really important to not go over 6 volts. 80 kilogram in a such a light truck is overkill. That's super nice from HOBAO. That's the same servo as in all the 1/8 scale range. I'm happy to see they do only just that servo. It's a good servo. I had it in many trucks. It's really awesome. And this radio system, you have for sure the trim settings. Just note that it's a noise trim. Here you go, one side, and here you at the end from the side. You want to go neutral. Find the neutral is easy. Listen to the sound. There it is. If you change the trim, you don't change the angle capacity from the radio system to turn left from right. That's also cool. On some radio system, what you trim on the left or right side is loosened for turning. That means if you have 60-degree left and 60 right, if you are trimming 20 left, you still have 60 there, but only 40 there. Okay, here not. You can trim which you want. You still have from your point to beginning 60 left, 60 right. That's cool. Oh, sorry, that's the postal service. I wait for many package. So, here I am again. That's not for you. We're gonna make another unboxing later. It's Christmas any day here in an RC freak life. That's cool. So, we was at the radio system. So, how I say, it's super easy to trim. Here you have ability to reduce the power forward, backward or brake. Take care. The backward is separately from the brake, but it's not because of the radio system. It's because of this new quick run 60 amp ESC V2. It's also an important point. The old ESC has only 5 stuff to programming with the programming card, and the program card is in the box. Which other brand gives you the programming card free with your car? Most of the time you have to pay up to 20 bucks to get your program card. So you can now change the punch, what was not possible to do before, but you cannot anymore change the backward power. You can change the brake, the punch, the cutoff. If you go on competition, you can disable backwards. And what was the 5th? I forget the 5th. What is the 5th? The drag brake. You can change the drag brake. So backward is anytime same power. Equal what you do. For us joy driver, it's okay. I like this radio system. It's precise, has a long range. Some people complain for a kid here, you have a little bit too more room, so it's super easy to put just a rubber on it, so you don't have too much lag between gas and brake. You get a fully manual with all you need to fully disassemble the truck and put it together after maintenance. It's really detailed. You have all you need here. You get some stickers more. You get the manual from the radio system, the manual from the ESC, a little advice for the servo to not put it 7.4 volts. Maybe there are some people who have tried and burned it out. And now we have talked enough about what's around the truck, and we gotta see what's in the truck. If you don't know my channel, it's really important to take a look at it. It's not a channel like any other. Here we just filming real life without cutting anything out. The blue body is my favorite from the RTR. It's not underpainted, it's funny, so you see through the body, but it gives it a really nice blue shiny stuff. I get with the truck also a silver one. Not special silver. I get the 4 optional rims with the which are yellows. Original are the white ones. I still have from back in the time some original tires for my old one, and I get this is something I did not expect. I'm gonna tell you the story. How I say, I talk with someone by HOBAO since years now, and as they have done the VSC2, I asked them to also refresh the 110 scale. My first idea was just to take what I have done in 1.8 and size it down and make the same stuff downsized as the big ones, because it's something that really works. And this is going also the other side. You can take the 1.8 and do a 1/5 scale with it. But they asked me, it's not possible, it's not what they want to do. So I asked them, I would say before the video, if they can maybe mix some Hyperstar stuff with some VTE2 stuff with this new alloy they also do anywhere, and here it is. So I saw it first by JTRC. Hi JTRC, how are you? I like what you do. If you not know the channel, go to JTRC, please guys, and take a look at this channel. Also, hi 6-shooter, my maybe oldest American subscriber. So I emailed back HOBAO and asked them, oh, I see you have done the 10TT, and I see it on our channels already in America. And so they asked me, they just tell me, oh, sorry, we forgot you. And they send one to me. I was not asking about have one. And they just send one to me. So I was expected to get an RTR, but they send me an RTR with all optional parts. And that's really nice. And what you have to know about my channel is when I get something for free, I'm not gonna tell it's the best and awesome and all you want because I get it for free. I'm still gonna be straight on my opinion on the truck. We're gonna drive it 2S, 3S. If it's not enough, I'm gonna change the power system. I'm not gonna go too crazy with the car. It's a small, light car to fun drive. It's not a basher. HOBAO never claimed to make some stuff to bash. It's stuff to drive. They make cars to drive on the 4 wheels. That means if one wheel goes off the ground, it's a new driver to bring it down to the ground, to have a maximum traction, to have the best and the fastest lap. If you go in the air, if you mess the landing, if you are on throttle, go to the ground with high speed spinning wheels and destroy the transmission. All that is drive failure, not weak point from the cars. So keep that in mind first, and I'll say I get this for free. That means after the drive, after the tests, after modification, if I have to modify something, this car gonna go out as a wind play. I make every month wind play. I make wind plays with stuff because brands send me not much. We have 1-2 brands who send me some stuff. All the rest is subscriber stuff. We have subscribers who have some old cars, don't need it anymore, don't want to sell it, so they send it to me, I refresh the car, and we make wind plays. When I make this channel, I was expecting to do one in a year, and after 6 years now, the channel is working. We're gonna reach slowly the 50,000 K, and I managed since January to do one wind play each month. If it's a big car, it's one. If it's a small car, it's two, means 1/10 scale. If it's smaller, it's 3, 4, 6 cars. I'm gonna show you that after have talking about the HOBAO, so you're gonna see where you have landed here if you don't know me and my channel. So now it's time to talk deep in the truck. Center alloy dog bone for the front, because in the rear there's nothing. It's just directly in the differential, super light. Alloy wheel hacks, carbon shock towers front and rear, harder springs front and rear, and the insert from carbon for rear and front A-arms. For sure in the box also you get some parts here to change, I would say, before the pickup, the anti-squat, the rear spur and all that stuff. Basically the tools to unscrew the truck. And so now it is here. You have a 10 TT with some hyperstar layout style chassis. That means motor and differential in the back, ESC servo receiver. One thing I would like to have is that this plate would have a little plate underneath here, which the ESC would be fixed on it. So just pulling out 4 and maybe a 5th screw, you can put all the electronic out. 2 screws to put the motor out, and so you have super easy access to the cleaning from the car. It's also easy because it's just with double face duct tape, the double side duct tape. So double duct taped at the chassis, but you have to unglue, reglue anytime the stuff. So I really prefer to have an ESC fixed on a plate and the plate fixed on the chassis. We have an upper brace made from 2 alloy tube, made really nice. You have nice wire management. That's also something I really like by HOBAO. Many brand has the wiring going around the truck wild, and this is clean. You also have something that's the power wire here, not heat the center drive shaft, and all the rest from the wires are in the receiver box. I don't understand brands who do not receiver box. Even competition, it's really so nice and clean if all the wires are in a box. You have, I would say, this alloy top brace here and alloy pin holder. The shock towers are the same as past, but made from better alloy. Also the motor mounts, also the chassis. Back in the time, this was an option to get the better chassis. The stock chassis was a little bit soft, but the truck was light and it was brushed, so it was way enough. The new arms with the place to put the carbon insert in there, that's also nice, because all guys who have the old TT and old SC, if they have a breakdown, can buy the new arms, can buy the new braces. And that's really cool. What they still have to do is to put the spacer, because here they do the arm a little bit beefier, brighter, and the old arms a little bit thinner. You have an overkill 6061 machined Ackerman plate, in which you can change here the Ackerman angle. You have pure ball suspension. HOBAO managed this since a long time. So I was really happy to see the VSE2 1/8 scale buggy back with pure balls. The new shocks, new shock springs, new caps, and the suspension is now out from the box. Really just nice. Before it was really too soft on the springs. So okay, brushed was not heavy, but back in the time we had nickel medium high drive battery and the battery was really heavy. So even the brushed had too soft springs. What I forgot, if I think this was not at the old one here. We had not this flexible brace in there, and so this is really nice because it's not going to break. The wing is also flexible. It also was at this point back in the time, and the motor is an 3652 can 3900 kV on a 12-tooth pinion gear mod 1. That's also cool because if you change the motor to a 5mm motor shaft, sorry, have some issue with the flue, not with flue, with the pollen. So any 1/8 scale standard pinion goes on the truck. With the 12-tooth, in a 2S maybe you're gonna reach just about 50 km/h. In 3S it's gonna be more funny. If you're gonna go faster in 2S, you can easily go to 50. I have tried on the short course. The short course is heavier because it's the same power system as the old short course in TT. It seems to look a little bit weak, but it really do nice the job. In a 3S, with 1-2 tooth more, you can easily reach 70-75 km/h, which is way enough for such a small car. And I have changed something in the setup from the differential. Access in the front differential is easy. It's not fast because it's not a competition car. You have to pull out 2 screws underneath, 2 in the front, 3 at the shock tower, 2 at the shocks, and you can, and don't forget to lose, just have to untight these 2, because you see here the cell, the front and rear cell are catched in the chassis, so you can lift up and put the differential and out. Originally comes with maybe around 5,000 or 10,000 CST oil. That's original oil here in the differential in the rear. I put in the front 30,000. I'm gonna explain you why. And I put in the middle, which is also not a fast access but still easy, 5 screws underneath, 3 screws in the top, and after that the 5 from the plastic protection from the gears, and then you can put the diff out, and in the center I put 60,000 CST. I do that because I like to have nice traction. I drive on grass and gravel, so I really like to not have my power going to the front, especially out from the curve when you are turning with the 3 soft differential. You're gonna have this issue that it's gonna lift in the front, it's gonna torque twist here, and this tire gonna balloon and take all the power back. It's nice for beginner because it's easy to drive that way with 3 soft differential oils, but I'm used to drive a little bit harder. That's why I do that. I know with harder oil front and center I'm gonna have some understeer intake from the curve, but I'm an off-road driver, so I have the habit going the curve, just take a little push on the brake to let the rear end brake out, and then I counter steer and give more throttle, so to have, you know it, what I mean, this nice type of curve with torque, with really torque counter steer. That's what we like. It's for sure not a competition style driving because they have to do going fast on the laps. I do not going fast on the laps, I going funny on the laps. That's all I care. So Now we're gonna drive this baby. I'm pretty sure with this setup I'm gonna be happy because I had back in the time enough from that. For sure also the weight distribution is not exactly more the same. The old version had the motor here, ESC here on the top, battery here. It means a little bit more front weight, but it's not so much in the back. We're gonna see it. So in any case, you can put the battery really front and top, that's right. I would say we're gonna drive 2S, 3S, then we're gonna change the motor pinion, but because maybe with the 12 tooth it's a little bit too slow for me, and as I use it in the short course with a 30-50 tooth pinion, the motor, even if it's a small one, had no problem. And if it's not enough, I'm gonna put a bigger motor in there for sure. There will be no more room for ESC, but you have here a flat top plate, so I'm gonna put this ESC in the top because motor would be heavier, 3S battery is heavier, so the poor 60 gram from an ESC here on top is not gonna be an issue. And you have plenty room also in the body to put the ESC in the top. You also can, at that point, put some vent here, so the ESC gonna take enough air. What I'm gonna do first also is to put a little bit form in there, so the form gonna press here. So if anytime I overroll, I'm not gonna squeeze my body down. I'm really happy to see this truck coming back on the market with all that upgrades. We like HOBAO in France and Europe because it's an entry-level price. It's tough. We have a super part support and the parts are not high in price. It's really a joyride. For sure, guys who want to bash, gonna go for Corelli or Arma, but in Europe, especially, I think in America it's not a problem, but here in Europe, we struggle with Horizon Hobby. We have really, the cup is full because we have no part support. The parts are going crazy with the price. If you see that 1/8 kil Arma differential cost now the price from a 1/6 kil Traxxas differential, and that the HOBAO parts cost the half and are as tough as the Arma parts. For sure, it's not done for bashing. I'm gonna put some skid plates, some bumpers, beefier, and that's all, if I need it. That's also something I asked HOBAO to do. I hope it would be cool, HOBAO, if you're gonna do this as optional part, maybe not needed for the serial version, but in any case would be cool to get skid plates and bumper in one part. There are on the market already skid plates you can use because the truck is on the market since 50 years and it's still the same whole distance here, the same cell, so you can use that. Now I'm gonna drive it. I hope I was not too long, and I hope to catch up the time to do more video in English again for all of you who are not speaking French or German. Maybe I'm gonna take the time also to check out with the video mounting system, with the software, the video software, if I can use the EA to translate properly. That's the other question. The problem is anytime if I speak French, if I use some common way to speak French, that the translation sometimes is really funny and strange. So all of you guys who had back in the time the 10SC and 10TT, comment us what you liked of the truck, what not. If you already have the 2.0, tell me about the 2.0. Especially I want to know, because in Europe we have not really interest on it, but for America, HOBAO USA made a dragster, a high-end dragster 1/10 scale. So have you one of them? Are you happy with how is it compared to your other stuff you have? For sure it's better. Clearly there's drag slash, low Z and TMS or RTR stuff, but low Z and TMS made also the kit version. I don't know if I'm gonna take the dragster version, because for do drag race, and this is a special shootout to Crucial RC. Crucial RC, I on a way to do, because of you. Take a look at this. An FG BMW two-wheel drive with Formula 1 rear tires, because I like when it smokes. And this bad boy, Max 20 ESC, 20 kilowatt ESC, and for sure I'm gonna take the motor or match this power to make a 50 to 20 kilowatt dragster. I have already a drag bar, and I have to put all in the truck. Time is what I need. I need more time. I'm really excited to drive first this guy. I'm gonna go easy on the park, 2S, pump track, skate parks, easy. And then we're gonna slowly increase the power. First, I would say the motor gear. Then, if it's not enough, we're gonna change the power system. After all this using, we're gonna disassemble the truck, show what happens with the rear inside, because for sure the diff main gear and all that stuff is cold pressed steel. The car is light, we have not too much power, so I really have no concern about this transmission. How say, I drive this car since years now. My first one I have bought a brushed 10TT and SC as I saw it on the market. I put the brush system out because I already had brushes, and put brushes in there. And I go crazy because I drive that stuff 90 to 100 kilometers an hour. What's happened here? And for sure I have some breakdown because I was too heavy on throttle. Back in that time I was really crazy. I'm now a little bit older and wiser. Forget about it. I just say I'm gonna put 50-20 kilowatts in a two-wheel drive. So what I mean, I had some transmission breakdown back in the time because I was too rude. I had some breakdown at hits because I was too rude, and also back in the time the A-arms was a little bit too weak for what we have done. So I really hope that this plastic now is better, beefier. If we no more have this issue on breakdown, especially the front arms and bad landing this way, even if it's a drive failure, it's anytime cool to see a truck just overall keep on the tires and go back to drive, as to see here an A-arms breaking off. So I'm sure it's better now. I have no concern about chassis and braces. This is not going to move with this lightweight. Transmission going to be okay as long as we keep soft and not heavy tires. Clearly, if you're going to go for bigger, heavier tire, you're going to stress more transmission. I have done one. As high as I can, I put 110 scale monster truck tires on it. I put a 110 scale monster truck body on it and make a Hyper 10 MT like a Traxxas Stampede back in the time. I had such a ground clearance and I was really happy with it, but I would say the heavier tire was a little bit too much for the drive cups and the pins. That's not a concern, but I just was hoping to get a little bit beefier drive cup and beefier pins. I was really hoping that they go to 3mm pins. They still let the 2mm pins for sure in 110 scale is enough. And if the steel is harder as back in the time, it's also going to be good. The dog bones and the CVD are beefier than back in the time. So that was also not in first time. I remember the first version I had was tougher than the second version at that point, they was going for alloy, CVD and dog bones, and there was a little bit too weak, bent really fast. So I guess that here they go back to harder 12.9 steel, because we have a little flex, but clearly not much as we had on the other version. So enough talking, we're gonna drive it. Also something I never do, many from you want short videos, just show the truck, go drive the truck, jump the truck and back in the workshop just to say it's good or bad, and that's it. I'm not that type of guy. I take my time to do the presentation video. For me it's not an unboxing but a presentation video. I talk about the brand for the newcomers who don't know the brand, my history with the brand, why I like it or not, what I had as issue at this type of model, this type of model, this type of model. Let us discover the new stuff compared to the old stuff. Then in the next weeks you're gonna see 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 50 runs. When I mean 20, 50 runs, I mean 20 full runs. I put a battery in, go to full charge to cut off. Different type of terrain. We're gonna drive on-road, off-road, grass, gravel. We're gonna jump it. Not, I would say, not too crazy stuff. Normal stuff, just nice jump. Don't need to send my stuff anytime too far. I have special trucks to do that. If I want to be crazy on jumps, I just take Traxxas because I don't care what happened to that. But I love this one, so I'm not gonna be rude in the 5 first minutes. Then maybe I gotta forget it. And you're gonna see all, how I say, because I really prefer long time review as just a 10-minute total unboxing, drive and review. You have learned nothing in 10 minutes, and here we are now here together since half an hour. You have learned about the brand, about me, about the old car and the new version, my thoughts. So I tell you once again, I hope that here the arms are tougher, and I hope that drive cups and pins gonna be tougher. All the rest is not a concern for me. I know this truck is good, and after 10-20 runs in different condition, 2S, 3S with maybe a higher power system, we're gonna see. We're gonna disassemble it and we're gonna talk about it once again to see if our concerns are coming out to the point we don't want, or if they managed to do what we are waiting for the truck. Also, don't forget is that we are all driving faster, more brutal. We jump higher and longer than we never have done before. For 20 years, no one has the idea to send a truck 50 meters wide, 10 meter high, doing 5, 10, 20 backflips, and expect it to land safe. Because we have done it, but we exactly know that if we not land properly, we destroy the car. And it's crazy to see that we have now so much trucks from so different brands with so much brushless power in there, managed to drive so rude, so fast, and still not be at any time disassembled. We have many times we are not happy. We say, oh, it's breakdown, we should not, we wait better. But the fact is, go back from the videos 50, 20 years ago, ask the first time owner from Savage Flux HP if they was happy with the truck. Gear destruction, dog bone destruction, drive cup destruction. And all that was normal. We know if you are going too fast, too hard, you're gonna break down. Now, the most people driving and complain about, oh, the truck is not good. But fact is, the driver is bad. I I hope you enjoyed the video. I wait on your comments, guy. No matter where you are on earth, if you speak English, just feel free to comment in any of my video. I reply any comment. I let no one in here. You can comment nicely, funny, and you can comment bad. Even the bad comments become an answer for me, because I want to know what is hurting you in your childhood, that you are psychologically weak and not able to have a normal discussion from grown man to grown man. Guys, see you on a track with the truck.